While the state of Iowa may be viewed as a national leader in renewable energy, demonstrating how innovation and geography can work together to reshape power production, the picture is more complex than it appears. Utility companies still rely heavily on coal-fired plants to stabilize the grid, even as wind and solar continue to expand. This overview will explore how Iowa's energy transition reflects both progress and persistence, examining local impacts, air quality challenges, and waste management strategies, as well as the global consequence of delay. We'll also look at how myths and misconceptions about renewables can slow sustainability efforts, and why public awareness is as important as technology in shaping our climate future. Iowa stands at a rare intersection, a national leader in wind, yet still tethered to aging coal infrastructure. The state's energy mix tells a story of both progress and inertia, with renewables surging, but fossil fuels still entrenched. While wind power now leads Iowa's electricity mix, the system itself remains divided between what's clean and what's convenient. Wind energy represents progress, abundant, renewable, and deeply rooted in rural communities. Yet even this resource is sometimes curtailed because it's cheaper to shut down turbines than coal units. Coal plants continue to run, not because they're cleaner or smarter, but because they fit the old grid and market incentives. They still set the pace for how and when renewables can operate. That divide isn't just technological, it's structural. It shows how economic priorities can lag behind environmental reality. When one region delays renewable transition, it doesn't just affect its own air or water. If every power system in the world followed the same pattern, extending coal, postponing renewables, the result would be global. Skies, once clear, would darken with pollution, and the same landmarks that define our world would disappear under haze. Energy decisions are never isolated. They define not only local economies, but the shared climate we all depend on. Air pollution is one of the most immediate ways we can experience the cost of production. Iowa consistently ranks among the top 20 states for toxic air releases, much of it from coal-fired plants and industrial sites. Workers near these facilities face higher exposure to particulate matter, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxides, which damage lungs, inflame airways, and increase the risk of chronic heart and respiratory disease. But the impact extends beyond the worksite. These emissions drift through communities, contributing to smog and ozone formation, and harming crops and wildlife. Every reduction in air pollution, whether through clean energy, regulation, or improved filtration, saves lives. This is where climate action and public health become one in the same. Iowa's renewable transformation begins with wind, now the backbone of the state's power supply. What started as a rural economic investment has become one of the U.S.'s strongest examples of sustainable generation. Solar energy is expanding that success. Projects like Alliance, Creston, and Weaver solar farms deliver local power while reducing transmission losses and diversifying Iowa's grid. Even hydroelectric power is being reimagined. The new facility in Pella shows how small-scale hydro can provide steady, zero carbon energy and complement other renewables. Together, these projects prove that sustainability isn't just about resources. It's about coordination, linking innovation, infrastructure, and community into a system built for the future. Sustainability doesn't stop at energy. How we manage waste directly affects the climate. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, landfills and waste incineration release methane and other greenhouse gases that account for nearly 5% of global emissions. In Iowa, municipal recycling programs and landfill gas recovery systems help offset some of those impacts. But progress depends on participation and infrastructure. Composting, material reuse, and waste-to-energy projects can all reduce both emissions and pressure on landfills. Effective waste management isn't just environmental stewardship. It's a practical strategy for lowering greenhouse gases while supporting local sustainability. Misconceptions about climate change remain one of the biggest barriers to progress. The United Nations Mythbusters page identifies several myths that persist despite overwhelming scientific evidence. One common claim is that global warming is caused by changes in the sun. In reality, solar activity and global temperature trends have moved in opposite directions for decades. Another myth suggests there's no scientific consensus. Yet, roughly 97% of active climate researchers agree that human activity drives recent warming. And while there are some that argue that models can't be trusted, climate models have consistently predicted past and present temperature patterns with high accuracy. The ozone layer offers a clear success story. Once we recognize the damage from CFC's global cooperation through the Montreal Protocol, help restore it. Protecting our atmosphere proves that science, policy, and collective action can reverse even large-scale environmental threats. When it comes to sustainability, the scale is never static. Every decision, whether by a company, a policymaker, or a single household, adds weight to one side or the other. Iowa's leadership in wind and renewable innovation shows that progress doesn't mean perfection. It means persistence. The weight of what is right is found in our collective choice and in remembering that a livable planet has no substitute.